Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is day one of my second cycle of IVF, so I will be starting my injections tonight. I just wanted to update you quickly on what's going to happen, what I'm doing. I might even take a little video of my first injection, but don't watch this video if you don't like needles, like me. If you don't like needles, turn it off now. But the first thing that I had to do for my cycle today was to get my blood test. So I just wanted to tell you about my blood test and this crazy story about how many times it took to get blood out of. So this morning when I woke up, I'm not a stranger to blood tests. I may or may not have mentioned this in the past, but I have Crohn's disease, which means I have had to have a lot of needles with tests and being in hospital and things like that. So much so that my veins in my inner elbows, or whatever you call these, are very scarred up. And basically it's very hard to get blood out of there because they are damaged, and when they do put a needle in, it collapses the vein and therefore blood doesn't go through. I always tell people when I'm getting my blood tested that my veins are very bad here and that they're very scarred and they collapse and they're no good. So usually what we do is get a butterfly, which is a smaller needle that they use for kids, and put it into my hand where the smaller veins are and try to get blood that way. Before I got there, I had a big bottle of water and I also had a coffee. I'm not really a breakfast eater, so I didn't really eat anything before I went, but I didn't think that really matters. You know, it's more about what you drink and having lots of water. So I made sure that as soon as I woke up, I had as much water to drink as I could, and then I got my coffee and I drank that on the way, and yeah, went to get my blood tested. So I told her about how I did have quite bad veins in here, but usually they all say they want to try here first anyway, so she did. She tried here, so that was entry wound number 1 in my inner elbow. I don't even know what to call this. Inner elbow here, and as you can see it's quite red. I bruise very easily, so yeah, that's entry wound number 1. And then she said, oh, you know, these are not very good veins, and I was like, yeah, I said. Anyway, she was a very nice lady. So then she tried, I'm just going to take my watch off and my bracelet. So then she tried my wrist here, entry wound number 2, to try and get blood out, and as you can see it was very painful and no success. So I'm just going to move from hand to hand to show you. So entry wound number 3 is over here where she tried to get blood out and couldn't get it out, and then we've got entry wound number 4, which is here. So far I've got 4 needles and there's still no luck with getting any blood out. As you can see, they're all along the same vein, and obviously the vein is not participating. I asked if I could go out and get another bottle of water because they're next to a chemist and come back, but she said she'd try a couple more times, and then if it didn't work I could go do that. Which leads me to entry point number 5, which is here. So I've got another one here. That one really hurt. They all hurt. It was very painful, and I've got entry wound. So what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Entry wounds 6 and 7, very close together, as you can see, 6 and 7, which is very close to entry wound number 8. And then we come up here for entry wound number 9. And then I went and got a bottle of water, and then I drank that, and patients were coming in, so I told her, take that one in, keep taking people in, I need to sit here. She made me a coffee, I drank the coffee, and I drank another bottle of water. And yeah, so then I came back in, and I'm just going to move on. What was that? 9? Yeah, so we've had 9 entry wounds so far, and then we've got entry wound 10, which stings the most. I don't know why, but entry wound 10, entry wound 11, and then close to that where she actually got my blood, entry wound number 12. So I'm on day 1 of my cycle. I haven't had a single injection yet. I've still got that to come tonight, but I've got 12 needles like poking around trying to get blood out. It was very painful. I was in tears, and basically it's just off to a bumpy start, and I was by myself and I was feeling stressed about it, and then, you know, she just kept trying and trying and trying. She's like, you know, if I don't take your blood now, you're not going to be able to do this IVF cycle, because I told her the situation because she wanted me to come back later. And I was like, I need to get it done at this time because they need to have the results today for me to start my cycle. And yeah, so basically the woman felt really bad for me, and she kept saying she was sorry, and she was usually very good at it. I'm applying this cream to my leg because it's meant to numb you so you don't feel the needle, because I feel like this would make me less anxious about getting needles. So I'm just putting permanent marker dots so I know where to put the needle, and then I'm just going to put the cream there, and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half to set, so I'm doing it now. I'm going to prepare my shot. What do I do? There's a needle missing.
No. How so?
Right, so I put that in there, needle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
What? Do you get it?
Can you just put this in there? Don't you have other needles? Is there anything else in the packet?
No. What's in this packet? I need a sharp spritz as well. So that was day one of my IVF cycle. I was really enjoying being happy and not hormonal for some time between the two cycles, and I had felt like I'd finally gotten back to myself, and I was laughing and dancing and carrying on. So I was happy to be off the hormones, but now it's about to start again, and poor James has to deal with it as well. So yeah, Anyways, that's day 1 of my IVF cycle number 2. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. As always, have a good day.